Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of Rek'sai 2100, and today we are in the jungle against a Cho'Gath. It's an interesting one. So the Garen here wants to go in and just put a deep ward. I just want to shadow him here just to make sure that he doesn't get caught, and if he does, then potentially we can make something out of it, and potentially we can just... Well, what we're trying to do there is just get the enemy to back off if they do engage on the Garen, just act as a little bit of a buffer. So today, again, we're going the standard Rek'sai build in Conqueror, Triumph, Legend of Alacrity, Coup de Grace. I think that's Coup de Grace. Let's just remind myself. It is Coup de Grace. And then Magical Footwear and Cosmic Insight, just so that we can get used to the champion with the base runes, and then we can start to decide what we would prefer and match that to our playstyle. So I think here, because there's a Kennen and Garen in top lane, I kind of want to path down towards bot lane to the Jhin and the Lulu, into the Vayne and the Bard. I don't think that there's much action going to happen around either of these lanes early, but I think it's more likely to happen in bot lane. So if it does, I want to happen there, and I also want to hover mid lane because that's quite a volatile matchup as well. So yeah, apologies for not having many videos this week. Just to be honest, had quite a long week. Just wanted to get my head sorted before I put some more content out there for you guys and make sure that it's quality content rather than me just putting something out there to put something out there. But we had this game a couple of days ago, so I can't exactly remember how it goes, but I remember it goes well, and I remember there's some good teaching points. So let's see if we can figure out what past Smackjack meant by that. So going into the full clear, let's have a look around the lanes. Kennen's playing how Kennen is, just poking down. Garen's doing quite well to keep up on CS. Zed and the Katarina are, duking it out wherever they can. They're pretty even at the moment. Katarina's slightly ahead on farm, getting some trades off. Oh, Zed got the electrocute proc off there. That's good. And in bot lane, pretty stale. That's good. So I think we went to shadow the mid lane there, just in case, because she got fairly low. But instead we'll just continue with our full clear. Cho'Gath jungle is an interesting one. I think you only play Cho'Gath jungle, to be honest, if you're smurfing. It's got fairly good clear. You can get your ult off as Cho'Gath whenever you want, so you can get those 6 initial stacks really quickly. But the first strike's an interesting choice as well. And you'll see in this game that he definitely does know what he's doing. So we'll see how we go about combating that. But we'll take the Grump here. We don't really care much about blue buff. We will get it on the way back, but I reckon we'll probably go for Scuttle Crab here. Confirm that, and then potentially look into the bot lane gank, who are nicely pushed up here. Let's see what we do. So we get that heal off on the Grump. That's good. We can see the little ping from the Scuttle Crab moving towards us. We get rid of its shield with our CC, and we can just chunk this down. We do have Smite up. We should have probably used that earlier. So I'm torn between the mid lane and the bot lane here. The mid lane backed off though, so we'll go for the bot lane. Cho'Gath gets the first blood in top lane, and my bot lane don't move at all. Ooh, that's just tragic. And we go down. That is very tragic. So my plan here was to cut them off whilst the bot lane pushed in. I don't know if they just didn't see me. I pinged it a couple of times, so I'm not 100% sure what happened there. But I expected a little bit more support, and I was condemned and then stunned, and they were farming, which is tragic, really. But if we look on the rest of the map, the Garen's now had 1 death, I've had 1 death, and Vayne and the Cho'Gath have managed to absorb those kills. So here we'll move to the top lane. And we'll start to full clear down again. I would prefer here to go to my tier 2 Krugs than to my blue buff, simply because we don't have any mana, so it does help with our cooldowns a little bit, but not enough for me to warrant going to that side of the map. And 2, these are our... So yeah, it was a tier 1 blue buff against a tier 2 Krug. So tier 2 Krugs are actually more valuable in gold and experience. And then we've also got chickens coming up as well. So I shadowed there for a top gank. Kennen is being super annoying, so I just want to back out there. As I thought he was backing out, I was backing out. as it looks like he's staying, I'm going to see what I can do here. I tunnel. I think I flash here as well. The Garen was over here somewhere as well. And Kennen still had his flash. You know, I should have known that the Kennen still had his flash there and not bothered with my flash. It was a flash for a flash trade. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think we wasted a bit of time there. We can see that the Zed's pretty low here, and the Cho'Gath manages to snipe the kill from back here. So we want to see if we could potentially get something on the Katarina here. But she is very dashy. Let's see what we can do. And we don't have our level 6 yet. Yeah. So here we'll just absorb some of the wave and potentially catch up on some XP. Cho'Gath is now 2-0. So we have to be very wary about that. Don't worry. I didn't necessarily want to show you guys an absolute stomp game. I wanted to show you how Rek'Sai can play from any state of the game. So here we do go for the blue buff. This is fine, I think. If we go blue buff, Gromp, and then start working our way back up to wolves and chickens, I think that's good. Yeah. So yeah, we'll go into our Prowler's Claw. I think first item here. Then probably into... They've got a fair amount of magic damage, so I'm not sure if we'll go Death Dance next, or if we'll go... oh, that item that I always forget about. The one with the spell shield. You guys know what I'm talking about. The lethality one. It'll come to me. Edge of Night. There we go. Yeah, so we'll go Edge of Night second, and then potentially into some more lethality even. They're all quite squishy. We'll have to see. So here we'll move to top, go for our tier 3 Krugs again. Kennen is level 6, although he has used his ult now, and we know that. So we want to shadow it. He backs off with his body language, so that's fine. We just want to move back to farming. So I think I'm going to fast forward some of the farming bits. We saw the Cho'Gath moving up. I reckon he's probably in here somewhere. I can see him if he's moving with Rek'Sai. We just get that smite off. Go back through the tunnel. I don't think we meant to do that. I think that's just us being a noob on Rek'Sai. So here, I missed the Q there. If I had attached with the Q, I would have been able to ult him and then potentially do something. So that's really sad. And the Cho'Gath manages to get another kill in the mid lane. So we are falling behind. Not necessarily on farm, but definitely on KP. So just pay attention at what we do here to get ourselves back into the game and eventually, well, secure the map pretty much. We saw the Cho'Gath moving down. We know he's in his bot side jungle. We assume that he's not going to go on a dive on our bot lane. Although the Lulu's low, the Jhin is full health. It would have been a mistake for him, the Cho'Gath, to do that, and we know the Cho'Gath's quite good. So we assume that he's gone for his red buff, and I actually did just see that disappear on the map as well. That's just a replay file thing. Don't be looking at their buffs thinking, oh, that's up, and they haven't been taken, because it's just a replay file thing. So Kennen is pushing here. Let's see what we can do. So here, he's used his E. We can cut off with our E. We get the CC, we get the slow. He is ulting, you can't see that. And Garen gets the kill. Perfect. Get ourselves a little bit of KP. That's good. And then we back out. Move back to the map. The Kennen does have TP, so we do have an option here to potentially repeat gank. Whilst we wait for that, what we can do is we know that the Cho'Gath is in bot lane, having just killed our Jhin. So, let's do the Rift Herald on the other side of the map. At the moment, if we 1v1'd Cho'Gath, he is... Well, actually, to be fair, because he's not backed yet, so he's got a lot of gold on him, and he's spent a little bit more than we have. So he's got a slight advantage, but we are the same level. We have almost spent the same amount of gold. So it actually would be fairly close, I think. He's also building... now he's gone back and bought, as you can see here with the Everfrost. It would be very different. He would probably absolutely stomp us. But here, let's see what we can do. And wonderful. Zed gets out. Well done, Lulu, for keeping him alive until I get there. And we didn't use ult as well, so we've still got that up if we want to get off some sneaky ganks. So we go. 1-1-1 now. increasing our KP slowly. Again, the Cho'Gath is 400, so he is very far ahead. But we're keeping our cool. You know, we're farming nicely. We are doing what we can on the map when we see the opportunities arise. It's a tricky game of ganking, to be honest. If you look at the Cho'Gath, he's got some long distance CC. He's got the Everfrost now as well. He's got Silence, so he's got very, very good ganking potential, considering our team is, for the most part, very immobile. On the other hand, I have CC, but I have to get into melee range. So here we'll go see if we can do something here. I don't think we can. Fortunately, we do get the smite off, but we just back out because I don't want to get condemned into a tower. So yeah, on my hand, I've got some CC that's melee damage. The Kennen is ridiculously hard to get on top of because of his E and his speed up. The Katarina has pretty much... well, you'll see it in a second. Oh, not. She pretty much has a flash on command. There you go. Yep. Wonderful things. And the Vayne also has a dive as well, so it's very... and some spacing, so it's very, very difficult for me to get onto anybody. But we'll see what we can do here. If we have flash, this would be great. I don't think we do, though, do we? Nope, perfect, we get that. And we ult after the Bard flashes and double kill. Let's go look at that again, I think. That was... speed up. That was a fairly nice gank, and it just shows you sort of ganking paths. Sorry, I went back too far. We'll get the blue buff, and then we move down after the Katarina gets double kill, I believe. Oh, no. Vayne gets one. So here, this ganking path, if they stay too long, you can just be on top of them straight away. If we had flash here, we could have flashed Vayne, and she'd have been dead straight away. We do use the blue smite. We can get on top of her. Did we just flash? Yes, we do. We do flash. And then the Bard, we just do enough damage instantly. So Rek'Sai's damage is pretty nuts. A lot of burst damage, and then and the burst damage gets you to your full Conqueror stacks really quickly. So even after that, your auto attacks are chunking the damage. And if you look at it here, the Vayne at that point was a kill ahead of me, and the Bard was 2 assists ahead of me. So they had bought, it's 2v1, so they had 2 ability cycles to get through. You know, in total, as a bot lane, the Vayne has 4 abilities, and the Bard has 4 abilities, whereas I only have 4 abilities. So they're double the action economy that I do, and we still managed to kill them. I think we had a slight HP lead on the Vayne. I think she was quite low, which is why we decided to take that. But the Bard, I think, was almost full health, and we managed to chunk him down. So here we see someone overextending. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, the Cho'Gath is there, so we want to move down. Perfect. We burrow, we get the knock up, he flashes. I smite. We do have our Prowler's Claw now. And... oh, does he manage to get away? Ah! Oh, okay, the Zed managed to get him. Perfect. The Katarina is absolutely chunking now, so I just get that CC off and back off. So it's really unfortunate. Here, I tried to use my borrowed form Q to just get that final hit on the Cho'Gath. Unfortunately, the Katarina was just around the corner and managed to absorb the attack. But that's alright, because we get some shutdown. It's on our Zed, who's not doing the best, and it was a very radical play that he did, you know, running under tower, ulting under tower. Here, the Herald is about to run out, and I want to get some plates, so I just dump it there and see what we can do with the Katarina. She thinks that she could take me, and I realise that's wrong. And we get some shutdown for ourselves. Perfect. Yeah, I think her overconfidence and my lack of confidence there, so I think surprised us both, and I managed to turn around that kill and on half health. You know, she barely did anything to me. And she had Ignite up. So she was expecting to just one-shot me without even using a summoner spell, whereas it was the complete opposite. I think I used my blue smite, which has a ridiculously short cooldown. Prowler's Claw, dead. Wonderful. I love 1v1 Katarinas. They deserve it. Anyway, we'll move. We can see the Zed has gone into the bot lane here, so I'm just going to absorb this wave and see if I can potentially push into this tower. The Katarina doesn't turn up again. That's fine. We don't have ult up now. We don't necessarily want to fight this. She does have ult up. So, yeah, we'll just leave... And ignite. We know that. So, we'll just leave that. Get the Scuttle Crab. So here, the Cho'Gath... So we have caught up to the Cho'Gath. We are actually slightly ahead of him. We have one more assist, and we haven't dropped our shutdown yet either, because we died, I think, before anything. We have gone Tenacity Boots, just to get rid of... You know, they're all mostly magic damage. I'm not too worried about the Vayne, because we don't have ridiculously high health, and she does true damage anyway. So we'll go for the magic boots, get a little bit of tenacity just for the Vayne Condemn, the Bard stun, and the Kennen stun. It doesn't affect the Cho'Gath knock-up. I think it affects the silencers though. Someone will have to confirm that for me down in the comments. And we confirm the first tower. You know, we're playing for objectives. We can see that the Zed went down here, and we can see that he then, I can't remember if he died, I think he died. He got the fast base, although it's 15 minutes into the game, so it's not super fast at the moment. We push in the wave, we push it in again after the Katarina roams to shadow him, and we get the first tower because, you know, Katarina's being very negligent in her lane. Well, as the Zed, but, you know, the Cho'Gath is going for kills rather than objectives, which is how we get back in the game. So Garen there takes... he takes the Rift Herald money, and then he takes the Rift Herald. I don't think he meant to do that. I think that was just an accident. He didn't use an ability to get the last hit on it or anything, and he was just running back to lane. He just ran straight through at the eye. That's alright. You know, I can pretend it's alright at least. So here, we can see this being pushed in. We can see Zed in bot lane again. Let's just pick up this XP and this gold. And we know that the Katarina is missing, so we ping that she's missing. We potentially could have gone down there, I think. We know that the Katarina... Yeah, there's Katarina, there's the Cho'Gath. We are on the other side of the map now, so let's see if we can make a play elsewhere. I asked the Garen to go in to bait, so we can see the ult coming down. We know he doesn't have the ult. I can't tell if he's seen me. Yes, he's had a control ward. Ah, pretty rubbish. So I fake backing out there, and we can see what we can do. He pops the Rift Herald a little bit early. Kennen runs in. He knows I'm here, which is a bit stupid. We get the blue smite, and we just keep... So here, interesting. Okay, let's take that back, and we'll slow that down. Because this is really good, like, tower diving tech. So here the Garen goes in to bait it after dropping their Rift Herald. The Kennen then goes in. He doesn't have ult. So we Prowler's Claw, unfortunately miss our knock-up. So here we start taking tower shot, right? Kennen flashes in. I keep going because I don't care. So what I can do is I can take as many tower shots as possible and then ult. And then Garen starts to take tower shots. Although he hasn't quite realised and then just ran through tower. Is he going to survive? So that's why Rek'Sai is such a good tower diver. Because if he's got his ult up, he can begin to take aggro. And then when he takes as many tower shots as possible, he can remove himself from the tower aggro, make himself untargetable, whilst your teammate starts taking aggro, and you just damage share perfectly. You know, we both ended up on that low, not because the Kennen did much damage, but because we just took a lot from the tower without dying. Here, we should back. We're being greedy here. We do know that Katarina's here. We do know that Cho'Gath and Zed and everyone else are in bot lane, so it's not the worst. But we probably have a fair amount of gold. We do. We have got 3,600 gold. We just back here. There's no neat reason for us to stay. It's not a bad thing that we're taking this. We know that the Cho'Gath's backing. We know that he's probably cleared bot side, gone into that gank. So let's just nick this and then we can back safely on the Scuttle Crab in the Pixel Brush. No, I guess maybe we're just staying then. This is greedy. We definitely need to back here. Ooh. Ooh, poor Jhin. Yes, the bot lane seem to be having quite a rough game this game. We have been playing quite heavily top and mid. We are finally backing, which is great, because then we can pick up the Edge of Night. Perfect. I was correct in my prediction. So this is great just for the extra CC. We do have a bit of tenacity even after that. We also pick up a stopwatch. So we are now 5, 1, and 2. Building... Because we are now so far ahead, I mean, we are, again, 1 assist ahead of the Cho'Gath and plenty ahead of everyone else, apart from maybe the Vayne. But But we want to protect the bounty, because we currently have the highest bounty in the game. Let's get Guardian Angel, and then if we do make a stupid play, the Guardian Angel will save us. We have a little bit of armor, we have a little bit of AD that it gives us. I think it might give us a little bit of crit as well. Don't quote me on that. We'll see once it's built. And then in the meantime, we also have the stopwatch to protect us from dropping our bounty too. And here we'll just full clear. At the moment, there's nothing to really go for. We could force a gank in here, but Katarina, Cho'Gath, and Kennen are all missing, so it's not a good idea. Plus, they're playing quite safe past the midpoint of their lane. We can see the Cho'Gath here as well. So here isn't that bad. Potentially do something with the Kennen here, and Bard's there as well now we've seen. So we'll just finish this off. Potentially just shadow this, see what we can do. If the Zed has his ult, he does have his ult up. He could potentially do something here. I think he's probably respecting the Kennen's damage as the Katarina shows up. Not being, is she going to dive? I love it if she dive, because we are right here. But we are moving down. I expect that they're going to go for a turret dive here, so I'm gonna hover it. They do back out. We can see from the Vayne's body language, she's really shoving this lane, this wave in half. So she either wants to do this and then roam. Oh! A Bard ran into us. Let's have a look at this. So here we wait to shadow. The Bard somehow ended up over here. So let's punish him. We chunk him for almost half his health. The Bard does get the stun off on us. We get the Prowler's Claw. That's fine. Here we get chomped. Very sad, because I had ult up, so I could have become untargetable. I also had stopwatch, but it just came out too quickly. You know, he did it from over the wall after I flashed. So I wasn't expecting him to be able to actually get that off at all. I guess the animation has started, so it ended, or some bull crap like that. So let's see if Jin. So Jin managed to get the kill here. He is going to go down to the Cho'Gath though. And now, you know, we managed to pull it back. We've now lost a little bit. We dropped a 550 gold shutdown, so that's 850 in total. The Cho'Gath got 2 extra kills. And I think a couple of assists as well. Maybe 3 assists, actually. And the Katarina managed to clean up as well. So, not the best. And, you know, they can get Dragon off this too. Cho'Gath doesn't have ult. We know this because he just used it on us. Although it is almost back up. That cooldown is insane. So we'll see what we can do here. If anything, we run straight in. The Bard ults us. And here we managed to get the smite. That's great. I could have tunneled over. I didn't know who else was there. So we go for the Bard instead. I managed to hit him earlier. So what we'll do is we'll ult him. We'll get a Q off. We get condemned by the Vayne. And the Garen managed to pick up the kill on the Bard. Perfect. So we turn that around quite nicely. You know, our team all had the same idea in that we'll go for the Dragon. Zed ults the Cho'Gath, which isn't the best idea because he has a lot of HP. Yeah, he's making some questionable decisions, I think. Vayne flashes it in. And meanwhile, we are just harassing this Cho'Gath, who's not respecting us. He's decided that he's way stronger than we are. He blue smites the red buff early. The Katarina is chasing these guys, so I know I'm safe. And we managed to get a shutdown on the Cho'Gath. And... oh, okay, we don't steal his red buff because we don't know where the Katarina is. Or the Vayne, who was there as well. We can see the Katarina here, and we can see she's moving back. I think I ping it out to the Lulu, but I don't necessarily want to go for it. I think we could move up here now. That's cute. Interesting to see we're here. So Vayne is on her own. Let's see what we can do here. Nothing, we decide. And we back. We wait for her to push this in. So here is the decision that we make to go in. We should have come across here instead of getting... yeah, no, I think we should have gone down way earlier. But whiffs his... and Zed, yeah, Zed's making some very questionable plays. I do take some responsibility for this here. We could have gone down. Unsure why we didn't. Yeah, no excuses. No excuses, Smackjack. You should have gone for that gank. Nice and easy one, that was. Garen's doing some nice things up at top lane as well. Yeah, he's managed to get that tower. He's managed to get most of that tower as well. That was from the Rift charge, I think. We'll move back onto the Rift here. Zed, again, is nowhere. Oh, he's dead. That's why. So the Katarina finally managed, after wave and wave and wave of neglect, we should pick this up. Oh, well, we're going to help the Garen. That's why. Because we know that someone's here. Kennen's there. Ooh, it's looking dodgy. We do have our Guardian Angel now. I ult, and I just want to start getting out of here. Zed is coming back, so we can double back in if we want to, and we do. We should go through that tunnel. Kennen ults. I do go down, but my Guardian Angel procs instantly, which is fine. And the Kennen is starting to run. We tunnel in. Do we have Prowler's Claw? We do. So here, he's Zonya's. We don't somehow manage to get the knock up there, and he manages to... Did he flash again? I feel like he flashed twice there. Suspicious. But anyway, that's okay. We won that fight. It was 1-0. I did put my GAs. You know, I'm not... Oh, so it doesn't give you any crit. It just gives you attack damage and armor. So... I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I'm waiting for the scuttle. Perfect. That's fine. Wait for the scuttle. Wait for people to come back on the map so I know what my next play is. Which is the Kennen, because he hasn't backed. He's not got any wards. Let's see what we can do. We flash it so that Kennen wastes his E. And we E, get that true damage, and just smush him. Smush him into the ground. Little lightning weasel. And the Vayne is potentially caught out here as well. Nice. Awesome. So here we did just see that the Cho'Gath is most likely here. He just popped the scrying plant. Ooh, Bard. So that is one of the downsides of Rek'Sai's borrowed form, is you have such reduced vision that if someone is just standing there waiting for you, you can just walk right into them. Which is why warding's so necessary. You know, you take sweepers, and it's necessary for you to take sweepers. Always have at least a control ward on the map and in your inventory. That can either act as a second sweepers, it can deny them vision, or yes, I wasn't sure what the Jhin was doing there. I thought he was trying to steal it, so I smited it, and I think he was just doing it for me, which was actually very nice of him. And you can use it as vision as well, the control ward, just to finish that thought off before I move on to the next 10. So here we play around dragon, I think. I don't think it's going to get to soul. I think the first dragon had got too late for us to be able to get soul. But we do want to deny it from them. Dragons on their own now do a fair amount as well. I think it's like 6% increased attack speed and ability haste or something on a lightning dragon. Hextech dragon. Excuse me. So Cho'Gath flashes in. I managed to smite the dragon away before the Bard ult comes in. And I don't know what Cho'Gath's going to do after that. He has no other movement abilities apart from his flash. Here, Cho'Gath's down. Everyone else is fairly weak. We are fairly strong. Let's go to Baron. If I ping it out early enough and start heading up, show my intention, the team will follow. Apart from the Zed, because, you know, he can 1v9. At 7, 7, and 4. You know, it's fair. Oh no, it's a mid-range Baron here. So I think with the new changes, I think it gets stronger and stronger after the 20 minute after it spawns each minute. We've got a nice lethality. We've got a nice amount of tankiness, and we've got Jhin. So let's just take that. We'll get the 300 gold each. That's 1,500 gold for the entire team. We're back now. We'll probably get the Death Dance, or at least start building towards it. Yes, the Warhammer and the chain vest. Cauliflows. I always want to say cauliflowers. Cauliflowers Warhammer. And that's just going to be a thing now. And the chain vest. And we move back onto the map. We do get a little bit of AD just because the Vayne is 7 kills. Even though she's got 7 deaths, she's starting to get scary. I take that back. Even the Zed can take her now. But the Kennen, you know. Oh, God. Did he actually... Why did he go back? He was out. He's making for some very questionable plays. He's watched a couple of Faker's videos back in Season 5 and decided that that's him. That's fine. He's not throwing the game... Well, He's not really throwing it at all. He's trolling a little bit. Not actively. I think he's just thinking he can play the game. But he's not throwing the game in any sense of the way that he's trying. Number one, he's trying not to win, and number two, he's making it so that we can't. So I'm not. I think he's made some weird plays, but you know, I've had worse teammates. Let's put it that way. So here we've got the Baron. They don't have a whole lot of wave clear, so we can just play this very slowly. Look how much damage we're doing to the turret. That's fine. I think the Garen potentially could have gone into a different lane, but with him here, we do have the potential. Sorry, we do have the potential to tower dive. The Cho'Gath does turn up. The Garen runs in. He is doing some damage. He is taking some damage. And Kennen ease away, flashes away. Too scared. And the Zed manages to pick off the Vayne, which is good. That is most of their wave clear. Kennen is also having to back. Let's see what we can do here. Get him to poke. And we get the tower. Get the tower and a kill. Ginger's back out here. He's too low. The Cho'Gath can just pop him with a Q and he's dead. Because he is building for pretty much full AD with the Demonic Embrace, which is interesting. Garen goes in. I love that. The true damage ult manages to ripple the screen and remove all the colour from Cho'Gath's game. So here, yeah, I mean, we could potentially get this tower. We could just potentially go for the win here. It's very slow, fairly tedious. I go in, probably because I'm a bit bored, but I know my limits, or some of my limits now. The Kennen does, well, he managed to delay his death, let's put it that way. The Zed dies, he does get the Bard, and they surrender. So yeah, a 2, 9, and 6 Rek'Sai game, and we'll just go and do the damage. So damage-wise, we come in tied with the Jhin. The Zed obviously does a fair amount of damage because he's just throwing himself out those towers. If we look at objective damage, we do the most in the game by a fair way, which is really nice to see. And runes-wise, nothing too spectacular, just sort of what you expect from a game like this. Anyway, if you've enjoyed today's game, please drop me a like, comment, and subscribe. Any of them really help, and I'll see you guys in the next one.